Good afternoon, traders. It is October 17th, 2018. It is around 11:30, and I'm in Beverly Hills, California, and I am AJ of Awesomecallstrading.com. Greatest chat room on the planet. Right now, we've got several trades going on right now. We're bouncing Netflix. We got a live trade going on right now, so you will see me kind of interrupt time to time. Um, Obviously, YECO is the play right now. It's a live trade. You see it on screen. We were alerted in the room from a gentleman by the name of Gerald. And once this flag broke out here, we started showing interest in the stock around the 350, 380 round. And we walked it up to 6. But we took a breather on it, and it just started to really take off. So looking at a 3-year chart, we are now looking at the possibility that the stock has more room to go, and possibly 14 with room to 1467 up here, and maybe a topping today of 16. We don't know. I'm currently in it right now, playing a small amount of shares and just giving it some room here to see if we can get it to go. We'll see. I'll probably cut it off right around here if it does. So anyway, so you'll see me time to time go over it while I'm going over these trades. But anyway, let's just talk about a few great trades that we did this morning. Let's start with our number 1 trade in the room pick. All right, and it is, again, every day in Awesome Calls Trading, I find these really bio-type plays or newsworthy events or PRs that pop. And I have a lot of short sellers in here. And they love those small cap, beautiful trades where they can size in with conviction. Basically, it's an all day or so. Basically, I looked at this stock this morning, gapping up, and I just laughed. That's all I did. I just laughed at the PR and just went, you're up almost 100% on just garbage. And so I told everyone in the room, anything that pops at the open above 460, scale in short and take the stock down to $3.25 for an all-day fade. All-day fader. So that was my notes this morning. And nothing, in my opinion, this is nothing more than a pop in all-day fader. And as you can clearly see, it topped off right here. You can see the topping very clear at the 460 area. If you got in there with room to 5 to add, had it carried a nice average, and you basically yanked it. And right now the stock just hit 350. So with 25 cents to spare, I think we're going to hit our goal. And all we're doing is simply gap filling the stock, taking it at least down to this area in here. Okay, so just a really nice play on that one. And if, again, small accounts, if you have 1,000 shares at 4,000 buying power, you have made over $1,000 on your money. If you have 500 shares or $2,500 buying power, you would have made clearly almost $500. Okay. The next trade that we did was we did a couple of really good ones. I like Winnebago. And Winnebago had really good earnings this morning, but if you notice about Winnebago is the gap up. Here's the earnings. They did really well. Earnings came out this morning. Guidance came out. And they really hit it out of the park. The stock hit 37 a share. The thing about Winnebago that most people don't know is Winnebago likes to fill their gaps on earnings. And you have to read the report before you can make that decision. And depending on how their guidance is, and this is what we really do well in the room, we read everything. And I read the report very thorough, and I decided that, you know what, I'm going to put a short call into the stock and gap filled on profit taking. So if you look at today's pre-market notes, the number 2 trade in the room was Winnebago. And basically we guided traders into some pure profits on this trade. And I was really pleased with it. Basically, we went short at 37. with room to add to 38 at the open, and we were looking for a gap fill for 2 to 4 points to the downside, and the stock gave us exactly that. So if you take your 37 right here short, as instructions were given, written instructions, and you minus 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, you ended up around $33 a share. And what makes this a great trade is if you took 250 shares and at least got your feet wet with about 7,000 buying power, guess what? You made $1,000 in basically 15, 20 minutes of work. All you had to do was be patient. And there's the 4 points that we just spoke of at 33. 37 short, 33, 4 points short. You could take some at 2 points and the rest at 4. Many traders in the room banked on this trade. I was very pleased with the outcome of the trade, and it was a really great trade. Next stock that we have to do, I'm writing these down so I can have the charts too, WDO, and we did VTVT. The next trade that we did was Netflix. Now this one we found to be extremely, just to hit this on the moment, you have to look at the call. Basically, Netflix, we were playing it all week into earnings. We felt the stock would hit 345 yesterday. It did just that, and as you can see, it hit 405. This actually gap will get filled, but right now it's just consolidating with a bunch of profit taking going on, and I think it hits 350. Right now, I'm telling the chat room that anything in the 350 world is a buying opportunity right now. I'd actually be looking to buy calls right now, 375, 380, and 385. A month out, maybe 2 months out. Can even do weeklies at 365 and 370. I do think that it'll hit, but I hope it hits 350 and we can really get in there and just have some fun with it. Anyway, the initial call on this to play it, which I have to share with you, was just a really fun call. We were very specific on our item number 10 that the stock would hit $365 on a pullback. And that is what we put in writing for the chat room. And as you can clearly see, if the pullback hits 365 to 370, go ahead and go long and bounce it. So I want to take you into the stock. Obviously, you see it gap up. You see the push. You see how it basically kind of sold off this morning. But the open was the area that we really needed to nail. And so what I did, and I really felt strongly that the stock would probably dump at the open to 365 and then go long and bounce it for a good 10-point trade. So what I was trying to provide to the room was basically a 20-point pull and a 10-point pop for 30 points, because that's what we do in Awesome Calls trading. It's exactly what we do. This is what defines us as who we are in here. And so what I did is I told everyone, if it pops, scale in short, but in my opinion, the stock will come to 365. Now I want you to watch how it opened. Ding, 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 ding. 377, 376, 373, 73, 72, 71, 68, 67, 66. And guess what? If you've never been in Awesome Calls trading, this is what is expected in one of the greatest chat rooms in the world. 365. And there you go. So if you took the short, covered at 365, and if you went long at 365, then voila, it bounced almost 10 points. So you could at least covered your position, went long off my 365 idea, and took at least 5 to 6 points to the upside. Just an amazing 25, 30-point exchange in just a matter of 15 minutes of work. This is what we call professional day trading at its best. This is where a seasoned veteran who's been doing this for 15 years can really call it out and be very specific to the point where it's in writing. And everything we do is in writing. I was really proud of this trade. Okay. Let's see. I'm only down now $1. All right. I'm only down $1 now. You see how it's coming back? I'm still thinking, get through 13, I go to 14. I'm still thinking. I didn't allow myself to get shaken out. but we'll see. The day is still young. We've got an hour to go. All right, next trade. LRCX. LRCX. So write that down. LRCX. This was a very, very interesting trade right here. And what we did here, I'll show you. This is our number 9 pick in the room. Now this one is going to kind of like make you go, what? And again, this is just what we do in here. All right. All these pre-market notes are written down way before the market even opens, and they're done live. So nothing has changed. Okay. So on this particular stock, the stock was gapping up on earnings, as you can clearly see. And here's the earnings. All right. But there was a lot of bag holding down here. And with the China news and all that, I just felt just one of these stocks that I could look at and just said to myself, this will yank to 148 and under and then go long. And that was my guidance on the trade, and I was really adamant about it. And so I told everyone to go short at 155 with room to 157 at the open and look for a pull down to 148 and under. And as you can see, I just want you to watch how this traded out in the first 5 minutes. So if you went short at 155 per what I said, had it on any pop, and didn't get shaken out, I want you to watch what happened. That took only literally 7 minutes of work. You see how I called 148 and under, and look where it hit, 147.27. If you would have bought it at 148, you would have bounced it to 152. So not only would you have made 6, 7, 8 points to the downside, you would have cleared 4 to 5 on the upside on the idea that I felt the stock would bounce. It was perfectly laid out. If you executed it to my notes, you would have made a killing on us. 100 shares, 15,000 buying power. You would have made $600, $700, $800 at the open. Bounced it at 148. You could have made another 400 more for our $1,200 trade. Okay. The next one that I provided in the great chat room was a stock called VICR. VICR. Now, what makes our chat room so amazing is the ability to find stocks that really nobody else trades. And, everyone out there's, typical, hey, we're going to trade the Amazons, the AMDs, the Net Nevadas, and all that. And that's great because there's always plays in those. And the Apples and so forth. I like to play stuff that nobody likes to play or never even heard of. I love finding stocks like that. And VICR was just right up our alley. As you can see, the previous day had a gap up of around 3.5, actually 4 points, 5 points. And so I anticipate a quick pop at the open with a nice short coming, a short on it, and I wanted to gap fill it and just kind of fade it off. So I will show you this stock, this idea, and what I liked about it. And this was called VICR. This was our number 4 pick in the room. There's no analysts on this stock that cover this, so that gave me an inclination. It's a little secret that I have. If there's no analyst on it, who's going to tell you what the stock is worth, right? So that told me right there I'm going to short the stock, but a lot of people don't know that unless you're a professional day trader. So what I did is I told traders to take short at 46, room to 48 at the open, and look for a pullback to about 40. Stock ended up hitting around $42. So if you took the idea, you made 4 points in a matter of 10, 15 minutes of work. Really nice trade here. Well executed. Really happy with it. The next trade that we did, and I still think it'll sell off. This red here will continue. I think 40 and under. But it's going to take a little bit of time. The next trade that we did that you've never heard of, that we will provide every day in the room, is a stock called WBC. Where is it? What is it? WBC. I think that's what it was. Hold on. Yes, WBC. Okay. Now, this one caught a downgrade from one of our top tier analysts that we like. Traders, can I just point out something in the interruption? Do you see the buying? Do you see the massive buying? Do you see this? Are you watching? Look at the buying. Oh. Okay, I'm down 17 cents. You see this? You're trading with a pro. All right? Did you hear me cry? Went down 3 points. Do you hear me cry? No. I'm looking at the big picture. Imagine if you bought the stock at 9. You wouldn't be crying. I'm already at 12 now. All right? What was my fill? 12.17. I'm going to be patient. But look at that buying. Look at that buying. I don't think they're buying for it to plummet, do you? Oh, look at that seller. See what the market makers? This is a market maker right here. See how they want to dump? It's funny because you watch them when they're trading. You see how they'll fill here 123,000 shares and then another 136? You see how funny that is? But when they dump, oh, somebody wants to dump. Look at they open the spreads, so they make sure the seller doesn't get the best pricing. See how they opened it up? He's trying to sell up here at 1180. He does an open order at 100,000 shares and he gets 1020. He's probably pissed off, wouldn't you say? I do like these market makers though on this setup here. I do. So just kind of watching it play out, see how it goes. So we have a okay. So let's get back to work. WBC. Now WBC got a double downgrade. This was our number 7 pick in the room, which is our lucky number. That's my lucky number. I used to be called AJ Trader 7 because it is my lucky number. And what I did here is, now, this is where, and I'm going to be real frank with you, all those that are listening, all those in the room, this is where my talent really shines. This is where it separates me from the rest of the world. But what I look at is, this didn't even have any market makers. Now imagine this. There's no movement on the stock. It just hits a downgrade. A double downgrade with a $95 price target. Now, do you want to see how good a trader you can become in this room? Before the market even opened, with no stock being traded, I made the decision that the stock would open up at $107 a share. That's right. I wrote it down. Expect the stock to open up at 107. If it pops from there, add into your short and look for the stock to come down 5 points. And that is exactly what I wrote. Now I want you to watch how it opened. Ding, 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 ding. Guess what? It opened at $107.38. And then I said that you take it short there, room to add, average, and yank it. And how many points did I said you would get if you did what I told you? How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Just another awesome calls trading. So you moderators in different chat rooms that are just kind of like, what the fuck? And I got to compete with this dude every day? No wonder I want all of his subscribers in there. I want to steal them all. Gosh, the talent he must have in his room. This is just one trade. We had 15 of them. Anyway, let's move on to another one. Okay, let me write that one down. WBC. I'm going to do one more to entertain all of you. And that trade, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do, I'm going to give you NTAP. NTAP, what's that? You're probably asking yourself, what is NTAP? What is NTAP? Well, NTAP is money. Money! It's money. That's all you need to know. So I woke up this morning and I look at NTAP, and I want you to watch how traders make hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in just a matter of, I don't know, 5 minutes of work, 10 minutes of work. Okay? NTAP was gapping up all the way to the 80 from 77.80. So I looked at it, I did my research, and based on the information that I received, what I read, I felt the stock would be a great short and you would get paid on a gap fill pull down to about 78 and under. So I went to my notes. One of the first trades I wrote down was NTAP, and I want you to read what I wrote. And I don't want you to go crazy when you read it. I just want you to understand you're reviewing the greatest chat room in the world. And this is what we do. NTAP. I see that I would take the stock short here at the 80 area, room to 82 to add in case it goes crazy, get a nice average, and the stock will, not if, will come down to $78.50. So even if you're scared to short, I'm telling you where to go long. Okay? Even if you're scared to short the stock, oh, he's so wrong. Oh my gosh, he's just the most stupidest trader in the world. He's just nuts. There's no way the stock's actually going to go to 120 a share. Whatever you're thinking, I really don't care. I don't care. I'm not. I don't listen to anybody but me. This is me. I know the stock. I've been trading it for 10 years. I know how it trades. So based on what I see, short here, pop to 82, average 81, and let's see how close do we get to 78.50. Ding, 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 ding. 78.50. Bounce. Ho hum. Just another awesome call. And that is today's recap of Awesome Calls Trading on October 17th, 2018. And if you're ever wondering how and why we're going to become the biggest chat room in the world, no matter how many chat rooms try to steal our people, it's things like this. Because you can't compete against a pro, a genuine pro. And that's what we do, right? And when this thing, YECO, hits 14, what's up? It's just be another trade in here. So I hope you join us for tomorrow. Click the button. I hope all of you in our chat room. And by the way, did you see the Netflix call I gave you live? Remember I told you? Just talking to you in this webinar in the last, 27 minutes? Stock already gave another 1.5. This is what our chat room does. We make people money even when we're talking. Okay? So if you want to join us tomorrow, it's $25 for a day. It is $100 for a week and $675 a day for a month sign up. If you sign up under the dual program, the $299, we will give you a free scan. It's our trick or treat for the month. Thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. And that is today's live webinar.